So after I finished sketching my 3 flower plants, I'm going to do what's called found poetry. So actually my words are upside down here, but I'm going to look through my words and circle some groups of words that make a kind of a poem. So I've used the 2 colors of my color harmony, blue and red. I'm keeping it consistent, and I used colored pencils to separate out some chunks of text that could make a poem. And I also emphasized some areas with my color as well, especially in here, which is my area of emphasis, but also down here, this is another area of emphasis. And now I'm ready to add some leaves and stems. So I have lightly sketched in some stems here, and the idea is I want to create some movement in my piece now. I have a variety of shapes kind of floating around here, and I want to create some movement in my piece. So I do have some liquid acrylic inks here, and I'm going to select color. It doesn't have to be the exact color of your color harmony. You can choose something different. And I think I'm going to use gold because I like gold, but also there's some gold in here, and I'd like to kind of bring that out. And I'm not going to use a paintbrush. I'm actually just going to use the dropper and kind of lay the paint on. And the idea is that I want it to be kind of loose and look kind of not too controlled. And I'm going to so you can move your collage as you work. You can turn it around so you have more control over what you're doing. And so I'm getting some lumpy areas, but that's okay because that is what a stem looks like. Stems have little kind of branches coming out of them. Be careful not to smudge it with your hands while you're turning it around. And I'm going to start at the in my vessel and kind of work my way out to the edges of the paper. I'm not going to do the leaves quite yet because I don't want to get too much ink on the paper. Well, maybe I will do the leaves now, just so I can get this over with for the video. You're just going to have to be very careful. So I'm going to make some leaves here. And remember, you drew 3 different kinds of flowers in your sketchbook. So you should have a variety of leaves and flowers here, and not cliche leaves and flowers either. Okay, not all flowers look like daisies, and not all leaves look like almond-shaped leaves. There's all different kinds of leaves and flowers. You can make your leaves overlap your flowers in some places if you want to. Okay, and then for the finest detail, which I'm going to put a little bit of detail in my flowers here, a little bit of line work, I have a pen, and this part of the pen is called a nib, and the nib holds the ink. So I'm going to dip it in my ink and get the extra off the side of the bottle here. And if you want to practice ahead of time, which I recommend that you do, and matter of fact, I don't just recommend, I insist that you practice first. This isn't working. All right. Let's try this again. All right. I guess I don't have to get the... There's either something wrong with my ink or there's something wrong with my nib. I think the ink might be too thick, but we have other flavors here. And I'm just going to go ahead with what I've got here and make it work for this demonstration. So, I'm going to draw some details. Can't exactly remember what these look like, so I have to go get my picture of my flowers. Okay, so I'm going to look back at my drawing. The reason I asked you to draw the flowers is so that you know what flowers look like. And like I said, they don't all look like daisies. So I think this flower is the same as this flower, so I'm going to be drawing that while I look at it. And you can make it kind of decorative, you know, if you want to make little dots at the end or however you want to do it. Now's your time to really do some detail and have fun. Okay, so you're going to finish your flowers however you like. And I'm not going to finish all of them this very moment because the ink is not cooperating very well. But, so let's just imagine I finished that. And then you can go in with your colored pencils and you can bring out some details and whatever else you want to emphasize. So maybe you want to show, you know, an eye or some legs or something on your This is a different blue color. So maybe I'll mix them up here. Okay. And I think I'm also just gonna go in and draw the back side of the table that this rooster is sitting on. And maybe just fill in the background a little bit to show that. If this were dry, I'd go right up to the edge of the stem so that it doesn't look like it's glowing. So this shadow behind the edge of the table comes all the way up to my line of the rule of thirds, right here. I didn't plan it that way, but it happens to have landed there, and it just goes to show the rule of thirds is really has a purpose. All right, so that's that. You can go in and if you want to add more somewhere, go ahead and do that. Just want to make sure that you have emphasis in one of your areas of using the rule of thirds. Okay, enjoy.